Alright, this is I guess it could be part 2, I don't know. So this is a few days later. I took a little break from the Emudeck setup. I didn't set it up properly. Not properly, just not the way I wanted to set it up. So I'm going to try to put that on pause for now, and I'm going to get the what actually is it's trying to install is this app here called Emulation Station Desktop Edition. So when this is set up, you'll have one app that you launch in Steam, and that is this app, and this app will have all the retro games built in. I don't want to have every single retro game I have on my main Steam library. Okay, quit and manually restart. All right. So this is exactly what I'm trying to do. I want one app right here to work. I do want a few games that I like to play more frequently, like, you know, Battle Tanks or Banjo, whatever games I want to play, as well as maybe the emulators. Yeah, probably the emulators here as well. But the idea is that I don't want to have this library full of thousands of games. I want to have a few. So what I've done is on the Emudeck desktop side of things, you install this as your front end, and this is actually what puts all the games in a nice package. This is something I've used with my Android device. So this is actually what you're going to want to be in most of the time. So this is a skin I've downloaded. So if you hit the start button, nothing's scraped. I only pulled over a few games from my hard drive on my computer into the SD card on here, just to get things started, and then I'll go back and I'll do it again. But basically, what I want to do is kind of get this set up with a game or two working from all the systems I want to play, and then I'll go back and I'll do everything else. So the first thing I like to do is go to Theme Downloader, and I think the default one, I don't remember what the default one is. Whatever it is. My Odin 2 Mini that I used to have, I use this one, the Elementarial theme. So I did that. It's up to date. And then I think the linear one or whatever was the default. The theme variant, this will change a bit. You can't really see the much difference right now because nothing's scraped. And what scraping is essentially you download all the images and media for that game, box art and stuff like that. But basically, just this is what I'm using to get started with. You can change kind of the color scheme here. Mine's dark mint. I don't know, whatever. I'll go through a few of these settings here to get set up. Sound settings. I mean, nothing should change too much here. Control type, yeah, I want to use Xbox. Swap the A and B button, which would be good for some games where these two here are swapped. If you're using like I don't know, like this controller here, or like the B button and the A button's kind of backwards, not backwards, just this is the, I guess, Nintendo styles or whatever, or this is the Xbox style. I'm more used to the Xbox style, A, B, X, Y, so that's leave that turned off for now. Basically what that does is changes these two around and these two around to be the same as the Nintendo style. Game collection settings. So here, not nothing anything too crazy right now, but what you can do is you can do custom collections and ones from themes. So I can do, okay, now playing. You know, I could do like, let's say like Metal Slug, I can type in there, I can add all the Metal Slug games into there, and then so in the background you'll see like a category of just Metal Slug games, or Mario, or whatever you want, right? This is a setting here, other settings, alternative emulators. This is something you'll go to quite a bit, I find, on the initial setup, and what this is doing basically is saying what each system I have. So I don't know how I'm going to organize arcade yet, but right now, currently, it's the whole system is going to be using MAME as the default. You know, let's say like Dreamcast, you can have it right off of different emulators if you wanted to choose for a broader scope. You know, N64, for example, I have found that Mupen 64 Plus is a good one, but when I was on, you can do native port here as well. So some of these N64 games, for example, I think there's like Mario Kart 64 that's got like a decompilation, and I want to say Mario 64 as well. I can't remember which ones. Anyways, it'll just run it natively as opposed to running it in the emulator. I've found on my Odin 2 Mini, sometimes different ones would get better performance. Sometimes they would have different artifacting, you'd call them. So I remember playing it Mario Kart before, and I think one of them had better performance, but one of them had better, like, textures weren't all glitchy, you know? So, but by default, leave it for now. If you see problems, it doesn't load, then you go back in here and you change things. You can also change this on a per game basis. I also noticed there's no Xbox or Xbox 360 just now. Game media directory. Okay. Utilities, game importer. And then scraper I haven't set up yet. But basically, I recommend making like a not fake account, but an email and password you don't mind maybe getting compromised. I found this website here, screensaver, I guess .fr, I think is the name of it. It's like a French website that been compromised. So just be mindful that you don't set your email and password on that website as the same as every other website. I actually got burned from that a couple months ago, back when the Internet Archive got hit as well. I kind of got my credentials stolen. But anyways, you go to the website and you sign in, so you'd have to enter your screensaver username and password. I don't remember right now off the top of my head, but and then basically what you do is you say, I want to scrape one system at a time, or scrape everything, and then it'll all get going. Maybe I should do that quickly, because none of this stuff here is going to be working. I got a few games on here though that I wanted to just test. Like I want to combine these systems here, like Capcom. Yeah, sure, I get their different systems, but I'd rather just have one like arcade folder. Emulators is a good folder to have, so I can actually go into each one, launch it, and then make changes there. Xbox, I don't like how there's like multiple entries. Even though I only have 2 games on here right now. I'm gonna have more games, but just want to see how it works. Xbox 360, I got a couple games in here. Xbox Live is a separate folder. So I'm gonna do some work in getting everything put over. One thing that's really cool, again, I can show you a bit later, is if I hit X, it goes to the screensaver mode, which right now it does absolutely nothing. But I should have my other handheld has it basically. It does it where is there a setting here that I can change? The screensaver mode. Screensaver settings. Here we go. So I like to do like every 2 minutes. It'll play the video that you've scraped from screenscraper.com or .fr, and then you want to have the controls enabled. This video will play, I think, 30 seconds. You want to display the game info overlay, so it tells you what game it is playing, and it's a really cool way of kind of finding what game you want to play. You just cycle through games, and you're like, never heard this game before, and you just play it. I'll show you how that works in a second. I'm just gonna get a few more things set up here. So what I'm gonna do is gonna scrape everything I have currently, and maybe add a few more games, and let this run overnight. I'll come back for another part 2 of this video to show you how kind of this all works. But yeah, so I'm going to scrape it all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in my account settings and my password, and then I'm going to scrape everything here. And I think I already have most of that media anyway, but I'm just going to do it this way. So give me 1 second. So I enter my password in here. No games for script. I don't know if I entered my information in properly. So let's just do this. Yeah, let me just check the website. I don't remember the password I have saved. Password, let's just do screen. Here we go. No, that's the right password. So yeah, it's called screensaver.fr is the website. I entered my information correctly. Maybe those games weren't on the thing. I don't know. There's the games database too, I think I can pull from. Some games were skipped. The games DB. Let's do that again. Let's see what it sees. Okay, here we go. There's more information. That's how it should be working. So it'll find the, when it was released, the developer, the ratings of it, some images there. So 4 games were skipped, probably because I already have it. So let's go back here to Xbox. So I didn't get that one for some reason, but it has this one now. So I can do X to view the media, that it's scraped. So there's feature pins here, for example, for the Xbox original. There's the cover for the game. There's the back of the box. There's like a in-game screenshot. The level there is fun. It's called like Twisted Tower, I think it's called. That one's a lot of fun though. And that's it. Sometimes there's a manual as well and a video. Let's go with 360. Here we go. That only has the box art. Here we go. This has a video on it as well. There's also a manual too. Okay. So we have a manual for the game as well, scraped. To get this game too. There we go. So what happens now? If we go back to the main menu, hit screensaver. It'll play. Should play 30 seconds of this game. And if you want to play that game, you hit start. Play this game. If you want to go to the next one, you just hit the next on the button here on the D-pad. Actually, I only have 2 videos that it's scraped, but you get the idea. It'll go through all your games that get scraped, and then it's a lot more presentable. You can kind of choose what game you want to play. So, what I want to do is, I don't know why I didn't scrape everything else though. Like, so if I go to like, actually, this game for example didn't get scraped. So I can go to options, edit this game's metadata, and then down here, and you can do this all manually obviously, but you can do scrape and see what it finds. Nothing found, eh? Refine search. Sometimes that might be a problem. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. So I found it here. When was it released? Well, there's the box art for it. So I can grab that one, and it'll find all the updated information here. So it'll find how many players it can be played as, which I guess in this case would be 4 technically. Because the Xbox version of this game can have 4 players. The PlayStation 2 can only have 2. The rating of the game, you can do it yourself. This game's fucking awesome. And you go down to the bottom. And then down here, if I had 2 different Xbox original emulators, I only have the Xemu one installed, because that one's the best. Let's say I had 2 different ones. You go down here for that specific game if it wasn't working, and you can choose the alternative emulator, and that might help fix some issues. So you hit apply, and now it's there. Didn't find everything, but I found at least the box art and what I could pull from. Let's say N64 for example. Let's do this game here for example. Alternative emulator. So I can choose for this specific game. Maybe it doesn't work good on this one. Maybe it works better on, I don't know, Rosalie's Mupin 1 or Gopher 64. Or there's a native port of it that works better. You can do that. Accept the result. And save. Apply. And there's all the information there. So GameCube will do So what I'm going to do is just go select all, back, and then here I can choose a few different options. So I'm going to start with the Games DB, see what it pulls from first. Content settings. Okay, so maybe the games database doesn't have all the information. So I go here, screensaver. Okay, now it has game names, the ratings for it, the videos for it, screenshot images. It has everything you're going to want from it. Mix image is that, let me show you what it looks like. This guy here had the mix image. So basically it grabs this is like the title, the box art, the back of the box. This would be the title screen. So when you first launch the game, this here would be the mix image it's called. So you can adjust what this looks like. This basically combines an in-game screenshot, the game's marquee. So if it's an arcade game or whatever, it would have like the title of the actual game, and then the box art here. You have more things or less things. So you can choose a resolution of it. You can choose the format of it. And you can generate these images when it's scraping. And you can just say include this image of the marquee or the box cover. And then in the actual, so before I do that, in the actual UI settings of this theme, I can choose, I think somewhere here it should say media viewer. No. There's a way to adjust what it shows, because you don't want to see everything maybe. I think it's under, oh, so the elemental flicks is actually what I wanted to be. So there's different, so I can just do like the basic view. We're just going to show this. Video view. So it'll show the video it plays over here. I'll scrape it first and then we can see what they all look like. Let's just start it. This will take a while. There's 2,000 games I have on here already. Some of these go pretty quick, but this will take 1, maybe even 2 days to how many games you have. And keep in mind, if you're scraping from screenscraper.fr with a free account, which I recommend you do, unless you do a burner account like card, because it will probably be compromised on the website. Then you can have unlimited scrapes, I think it is, but 20,000 scrapes sounds like a lot, but each game is scraping the rating, like each one of these count as one. So one game is like, 7 scrapes. So really, down here, I'm on game 3, and it's showing me down here I've already scraped 41 potential scrapes. If it doesn't find anything, it still counts, I guess. So this will reach its limit for the day. It'll time out, and then you have to do it again and again and again. And you can do it basically where it says, if it already has the information, don't search for it again. So you have to do this a few times to get everything. Now I do have this stuff already on my hard drive, all the images and stuff, but I wanted to show kind of how this setup works, and then maybe see how the difference is in the folder structure of this versus RetroBat, which is what I use for, well, I used to use my Windows emulation. Anyway, so I'll come back to this when this is done, but that's it for now. Quick little update here. I've added some more games onto my SD card and did a longer scrape. So I'm gonna finish all these scrapes here, 3,030 games, and then I'll go back to the rest of the video where I show a bit more of the Emulation Station, desktop edition, and what it's got to offer. Thanks.